We're starting with the black and blue, wheeling and dealing today in the negotiation window. It's tonight's leadoff.
Yeah, they were very busy. As we said, Carolina will be in the market for a new center. More on that in a second. But the big deal for Carolina, the big splash, the edge from Philadelphia. Jaelen Phillips reportedly signing with Carolina on a 4-year, $120 million deal. Some major edge help needed in coming to the Carolinas as Phillips comes to Charlotte after playing 8 games with Philadelphia after being traded midway through last season by Miami after he played 9 games there in South Beach. Injuries, though, they've been a concern for the former UCLA Bruin. However, he played just 4 games in the 2024 season, just 8 games in 2023, but a big free agent land for Dan Morgan. This was the Panthers GM just 2 weeks ago talking about the team's offseason approach.
Yeah, I think, free agency, draft, like we did last year, we traded up in the draft when we felt like a player could help us out. And in free agency, same thing. I think you've seen in my 3 years that, in free agency, we're going to get the best players. We're going to try to get the best players and be aggressive when we see fit.
All right, so diving a little deeper into Jaelen Phillips' journey to Charlotte, 8.5 sacks is his career high, but that was back in his rookie season back in 2021 when he was with the Dolphins. Just 5 sacks last year between the two clubs, but he can get after the quarterback still. 35 pressures, which is his second most in his career, along with 20 quarterback hurries. But the big glaring thing for him of late has really been his availability. Of course, those 23 and 24 seasons certainly stand out. So that was kind of the thing when I was leaving the Costco parking lot earlier and I saw the news of it, and I kind of had to look at it because the $120 million for the guy, again, who we were talking about with some of the injuries, had yet to get through full seasons in those seasons, as we mentioned. Obviously, yes, plays a full season, was pretty effective because I remember when Philadelphia got him, everybody was like, holy, the Eagles are getting this guy. They're going to win the Super Bowl. It's much needed help for this Panthers team that obviously, as we've hit throughout the past season and the season before that, they need edge help. The biggest thing for him, can he stay healthy on a team that has had injury issues before their playoff run this past season?
Right, and I just kind of want to go back to his injury issues.
Yeah.
An Achilles tear, partial ACL tear, and then
it's not promising, no.
Several concussion issues. So that worries me a lot. And as you said, the number is pretty glaring.
Right.
So for someone that's injury prone, that's what worries me a little bit. However, I want to give credit where credit's due, and
Sure.
that is that this is what they wanted. They wanted
Right.
to go out and get an edge rusher, and they did now. So we have to be happy with that.
I mean, you got to appreciate the effort. They feel that this
Exactly.
can tip the scales, and at this point, we have nothing more to believe than this is a very productive player. So, I mean, can he stay on the football field? But just a massive, massive acquisition for the Panthers today, perhaps the biggest on the day as well. So
Definitely, yeah.
Credit to Dan Morgan and company. But Panthers in, we got Panthers out now. Now former Panther tailback Rico Dowdle. He's off to the AFC. He's headed north, reportedly signing with his old head coach from Dallas, Mike McCarthy, now leading the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Dowdle is coming off back-to-back rushing seasons with 1,000 yards, one with Dallas, and of course this past year, such a big part of that Panthers offense. But really some of Dowdle's workload really diminished down the stretch of this postseason run, and he was certainly going to command a pretty penny on the open market. Carolina already paying a bunch to Chuba Hubbard as it is. Dowdle now will suit up for his 3rd team, Gia, in as many years.
And the Panthers weren't done with their acquisitions just yet after them. They also agreed to a 1-year deal with quarterback Kenny Pickett. The deal is worth up to $7.5 million. Earlier this offseason, the Panthers said they were intending to replace Andy Dalton and look for a younger replacement. Pickett played 2 years in Pittsburgh and 1 in Philly before signing with the Browns last year, and then got dealt to Las Vegas a few months later. So this is his 5th team.
He's been quite the journeyman so far in this league. As we said, guys coming, more guys going. Carolina, as we said earlier, will now need a new center. Earlier, it was NFL Network reporting that the Detroit Lions signed former Panther Cade Mays to a 3-year deal worth reportedly $25 million. Very good value for them. Mays played 14 games last season for the Black and Blue. 12 of them he started under center in a season in which he tallied a career-high 727 snaps throughout the season. So a very good land for Detroit. Tough blow there for the Panthers as well, Gia.
Kind of expected.
Yes.
As for a few Panthers free agents returning, not the sexiest of names, but depth if anything. A pair of special teams aces and defensive backs both return. Caleb Evans, the corner. Per his agent, he's back in Carolina on a 1-year deal as a special teamer. Backup corner, same deal for Rochelle. He's back, likely competing for a job in training camp. And again, I think we just have to give a lot of credit. Dan Morgan, I mean, He said at the Combine, he said in the offseason that he wanted to go out and do things. He had a team where they were successful last year, and as successful as they've been in however many years, right? And that they just wanted to build off of that. And that is what he's doing on the first day he's able to. So we just have to be happy with that as of today, at least.
The center position will be something that'll be interesting as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to see really what the rest of the roster construction looks like until they go out and restructure some of these deals that they got to hammer out, because then you kind of know financially where you have to spend otherwise. But still, that center position, either they think potentially, I mean, we talked about it earlier, probably Austin Corbett's gone in free agency.
Yep.
Brady Christensen has shown that ability to kind of be that Swiss Army knife along the offensive line. Really the only guy in that room who can kind of move inside and play center. So what do they do with a guy like that? Or do they go to pick 19? And are you drafting a rookie to start under center? It's kind of a lot of scenarios. I'm sure we'll be talking all about it up until the draft. But certainly a lot of progress moved for the Panthers front office.
Yeah, and I think especially with the Ike Ekwonu injury.
A lot to watch for.
And it's very important.
It's a lot to watch for sure.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.